I'm Robbie's Jim and Aaron and Daryl.
Ew.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Can we adjust the tracking on this? I can see this Commonwealth video better.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, I have entered the future.
Hmm?
I am all plussed up.
Oh boy.
What?
Yes.
Hey, come on now. I told you not to use that horse dewormer.
No, we finally cut the cord on the Dish Network. So
Oh,
Wow.
good for you all. You're taking your first step into a larger world.
yeah, we were able to kind of get this sweet deal where it was like $60 a month for like a year, and then that ran out, and I tried to call their bluff, and they didn't bite. So they wanted to up it to like I think the best deal they were gonna give me was like $125, and I'm like,
Damn.
yeah, that's double what I've been paying for the last 6 months.
Yeah, it's almost like
Yeah,
it's-
that's
So-
a good deal.
Adios, muchacho. So yeah, so now even with I actually found Philo TV, which for $25 a month gives us like 40 channels, so my wife can kind of watch whatever those weird reality TLC game show network, whatever TV shows that she watches.
Nice.
But I just bit the bullet on AMC Plus. I was like, okay, I'm still coming out like way ahead doing that.
And
So
you could be confused on what episode we're covering.
I was just gonna say I could join Daryl in not remembering which episode. No, I am.
He's Dr. Current's sidekick. Kid Current.
Yes.
I stopped myself this time. I didn't watch the episode next.
Now, you can take it further, and I think it's for another couple bucks a month. Also get Cheddar, my friend. I'm just saying.
I just did the
you want
whatever
to
thing.
you want to really live the horror life.
true.
See, I'm not a horror guy, but I did the thing through Amazon where you just add the channel.
Right, that's what I did.
So it's like $8 a month or whatever it is. And
That's what I did.
It's all three. It's like it's AMC, Shutter, and what IFC I think or something. I think it's IFC.
Yeah, but you don't get
Sundance?
everything in Sundance.
Sundance, yes.
Sundance.
But you don't get it all. You get some.
I mean, I was watching Gangs of London before we recorded, which I haven't been able to do because you can't do that without Plus. So
Right. Yeah.
everything seems like it's there. So anyway, but yeah, so I'm happy. So I have I joined the 21st century.
Welcome to Plus Life.
Yes, but I do plan on staying apace with the broadcast schedule.
It
just
makes
so
it less confusing because I totally was confused the first couple weeks.
Yeah,
I have the same AMC Plus Shutter package or whatever, and I haven't been watching a week ahead of time either, just to stay. Like I keep seeing Daryl having trouble. Like, which episode was this and what happened? I'm like, I know that would happen to me if I did that. So
yeah. If I know I'm going to be like I think next month I'm going to be on vacation one weekend, so if we end up pushing a couple days, I'll probably watch it ahead of time so I can take my notes. So that way when we do record, like I don't have to try and like rush and watch it or something. So it's kind of a cool option to have. But
Right.
but yeah, and then I was looking at the calendar again. So the 8th episode of the Walking Dead show, so the Fear premiere and the World Beyond will be the same night. So it'll be a double that night. So I thought maybe it was going to overlap 1 week with the main show, but it doesn't. It's they both premiere on October 17th or whatever. So that's that. So yeah, so it might be nice. I might watch them early just so I can watch one day while I take my notes and then watch the other maybe the next day. So anyway, cool.
anyway, I have a little bit of news.
Go for it.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan's son got to appear on The Walking Dead this week as a zombie.
Oh.
Young Augustus Morgan.
Was he the kid that was poking his head through the fence?
He was indeed.
Nice.
Walker poked his head through the fence.
That
11-year-old
seems-
Augustus.
That seems curious to me because like we don't get kid walkers ever on the show, so it's like that seems like it
I
sticks
was
out
like,
a
where's
lot.
that kid come from? I thought it was going to be like it was one of the kids from one of the communities, and someone was going to say something like, "Damn, that's pretty crazy." That
It's weird that the bullies are still bullying the same kids.
exactly. I thought it was going to be something like that, but they didn't mention anything, so I'm like, that was weird.
But yeah, now everybody in the family except for 3-year-old daughter George Virginia has been on the show. So
When they need a stunt baby.
Yeah.
there you go.
See what the writer should have done is Judas should have walked up to that punk kid and said, "That's what happened to the last little bastard that messed with me," and then walked off.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. Again, free material. They should just call us.
Wow.
Wait for the phone to ring.
Yes,
I'll call you.
Maybe they'll grab us up out of the ashes, perhaps, Russ?
could be.
So
Which coincidentally is the title for season 11, episode 5 this week.
And Nicotero directed it.
Yeah, Nick Caro directed this. So the pacing on this one was a little off from what we've been getting lately. So we've kind of been getting either focus on one character, one set of characters, or sometimes it'll flip between two sets of characters or two storylines. So this one's a little different because this one we had four full storylines going at the same time. We're kind of intercutting with. So
It's as if the show was like, guys, we know we gave you just all about Daryl last week, so let's give you like 4 different storylines.
Yeah.
Talk about every other character on the show.
And a lot actually happens too.
Yes.
There's a lot packed into 1 hour as opposed to like I said last week here.
yeah, I think I have more
There's
notes
a lot going on here.
this week than the last 2 weeks combined. So.
So in, brother.
Yeah, the way we're gonna break this down is we're not gonna do it chronological as the episode went through. We're gonna kind of break it down into the 4 main storylines and just kind of talk them out because there's not really any kind of real reason to kind of hop back and forth and just constantly sidetrack. So we'll just kind of follow the lead on the beginning of the episode and then follow that. We'll follow the Alexandria crew. So or the Hilltop crew actually, but it starts with Aaron who is in a forest with Grace, his daughter. It's nighttime. And this again, Nicotero directing. The lighting on this was awesome. Like that when you look off and it was dark and there was in the distance the forest was like lit red, which pretty much clued me in that this was a dream to begin with. But I thought visually it was pretty stunning. So.
I mean, it was a cool way visually to get that across.
Yes.
So it wasn't, without, like putting wavy lines around or just making everything foggy or whatever.
Right.
It's a cool way to do it. I mean, Nick Catero's very, very good with that kind of visual. If you see, like, the Creepshow series on Shudder, he does a lot of that kind of stuff, too, on the episodes he's worked on, with the intense hues and the colors, kind of give it an unreal look. It's very, very cool effect.
Cool. Yeah, so it was very well done. So yeah, it's Aaron at night. He's with Grace. They come across a walker, and at this point, it's kind of like his greatest hits of villains, right? It's you hear the whisper, or not the whispers, but the Savior's whistle, and it's everybody's.
We got the wolves.
The wolves, yeah, 'cause he's got the big W scratched into his head. Of course, the whisperers, and they all just kind of come at him. And as he looks away and then looks back, he can't find Grace, and he's kind of freaking out. And they all surround him, eventually get to him, and just all start like stabbing at him. And of course, and then they cut. It's very
real quick cut, yeah.
very brief to Robert Patrick's character, yeah, as he wakes up.
Which made me kind of snicker. Like honestly, I was like, I get what they're doing. It's just like he just like screams.
Yeah.
Also me.
Yeah. This one was added later. So yeah, so it was all a dream, and of course he wakes up, gets up. I love his steam. Was his hand the steampunk previously? Is this a new hand?
It seemed a little notable. It's like it looked like Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
It did.
It's kind of like Tony Stark's armor in the Marvel movies. It's like a different version every time.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure. In Aaron Labs, he's really going to town on different
Oh,
handoffs.
totally.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's that or it's the spike ball, right? Like
Are you talking to yourself? You keep talking to someone named Jarvis, and nobody's here.
nobody's hear you.
The spike ball is when he has his angry face on. That's how he's mad. He has a spike ball in his hand.
Yes. But this one looked especially steampunky. Like I don't know what it was.
It stuck out.
It really stuck out.
Whether it was like the shading of the room or by contrast or whatnot, it just seemed like, oh yeah, his hand's really doing a lot of work to make it look like he doesn't have a hand.
Yes. And it was well lit, close up, all that kind of stuff. So we got a good view of it. So then we cut to Jerry, who I love it. He wakes up in the morning, everybody's still sleeping.
Highlight of the episode.
Yeah.
That was a nice scene.
And he's
Well
like
done scene.
he's like leapfrogging around everyone, twisting around, leaping over, and then he's got to go to the bathroom. So he's like mostly still asleep, standing there, taking a leak, and he happens to look over and sees a random walker coming, and it takes him a minute to kind of figure it out. he turns towards the window while he's still peeing, and he's like, "Hey, dudes!" He's running out.
The only thing that could have made that better if there was a giant piece on his leg. Like,
Yes. So that was
compensates right away because they all run outside and Jerry has his machete, takes like a flying shot at like one of the walkers.
Yes.
Like, right at everybody.
yes.
In the trailer moment, they're like, oh yeah, good Jerry.
Yeah. And then, did you guys notice there's like one random guy that's being eaten?
Yup.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
what's up with that? Like, how the hell? Like,
Dude.
it's
You get the memo about how to avoid walkers.
yeah, it's like one random guy. It was kind of
Oh,
funny.
it's that guy over there that we've never seen before. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of them coming in. So the wall has been breached. There's a lot of them coming in, and then they all kind of run to get the wall shored up. And there's a cool scene where Aaron is, they're pushing the wall back in place. He puts his hand up because obviously he doesn't have to worry about getting bit, and just kind of holds it back. And then Jerry picks up, what was it, like a sledgehammer or something like that?
Sledgehammer,
And then Aaron ducks out of the way and he just like whacks that walker's head right into the post. It was good.
Like right as they're closing up the wall,
Yes.
he smacks it just in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good kill.
So given the fact that last week there were no walker kills, we got well, it's a Nick Caro episode too, so of course there's gonna be walkers, but yeah, they made up for it this week. So
Where's the watch on all of this? Like, how come nobody
I know.
let alone heard the wall fall down? That seems like that would make a noise.
you think?
They do have. They used to have
I don't know.
some watching.
It just seemed like that. We kind of brushed over the whole how did this happen to begin with part of the episode.
Maybe
not
they
that many.
went so hungry.
It's not like half of them left with Maggie and Daryl, right? Like where they'd be short that many people, but
There's like 50 people in that house. That
Yeah.
Jerry was walking in.
maybe just because they have no food, they're all tired, they can't stay up.
Yeah, that's what I figured. They're probably going to say something like that.
Yeah. So that's where we get with the cold open. And so next we meet up with this part of the story. They need to go to the hilltop for supplies. They realize that they need to work metal. They need to do, they need just to see if there's other stuff they can use.
They need tools.
Tools, yeah,
They need
because-
crafting tools.
Because the walls, they're not going to hold. Like right now, I think they're out there banging on each panel separately to try and spread them out, so they don't all congregate on one piece to knock the walls back down. So they're kind of using every trick they can to get them to not just again rush the walls like they did before. So they kind of make the decision that if there's anything they could use at the hilltop, it's kind of worth the risk to go. And Rosita kind of is a little bit of a Debbie Downer and is like, well, what if there's nothing there? Then it's kind of a wasted trip. But
Rosita does a lot of talking about doing a lot of action. Yeah, a lot of her commenting on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Something with like, I don't know, children that could use her help. And he's like, rather than step in, you want to hear a story? I'm like,
Oh,
I don't want to hear a story. I want you to hand. I'm like,
I cannot feed my children on no sarcasm.
grab one of the little
Yeah.
kids by the collar.
But they all agree that horse was good.
Yes. So when they get to the hilltop. So again, this is like time dilation, right? So they get
I was gonna say, it's like they get to the hilltop,
They get to the hilltop.
jump
Yes.
over a hill, and there they are. They get
Yes.
there.
And it's obviously burnt out. There's burned up walkers. You can see where the house has been torched. Everything's just a mess. And then they look over towards the I guess it's the barn or whatever. And there's a bunch of walkers in a circle that are
First
just
up, before that, they find like their people. They found like that died.
Oh, yes.
And they have to go through this routine of killing basically all. Because they really, it leads to this whisper thing because they're already upset because they just had to like kill all their people that are not walkers. So they're kind of riled up at that point.
yeah. Because
They
Aaron,
realize it's been stripped.
Aaron and Jerry, who they were living at the hilltop.
Yeah.
So it's like, now they set up put an
Well,
end.
she had to snap them out of it because they were just getting caught up in the. Oh no, it's so and so and so and so, and she's like, listen, reunion later. I know you don't want to do it.
Bobby
Just
and
gotta do
Bobby
it.
and automatic
Yeah,
Who can
exactly.
forget Chucky and Little Petey?
Exactly. It's like we got to get it done. Let's just get it done.
yeah, I think right after Aaron kneels down to the one guy and puts his knife in his head.
You can't even look at him when he does
Yeah,
it.
it's like real slow, to finish him. They notice that over in the corner there's a bunch of them that they're like, oh, there's more, and then they start just walking in a circle, and so they're like,
rope and stuff.
yeah, they're like, okay, well, we got to go do something. So they start going towards it and kill them all, and of course they
Well,
come
they knew it was a herd too. Remember? They
Right.
yelled, it's a herd.
Yeah.
Because they were going in such a circle.
and so they get there, they able to kill them all, and they find, of course, there's one that's a whisperer, has the mask on, and they take the
Because
mask
Aaron,
off.
I like the scene of because Aaron, once he realized, he just had that dream and they really focus on it. Once he realizes they're being herded, he knows there's whisperers in there,
Right.
somewhere, and he just starts like just slicing away as he's running, which is a pretty good action scene.
So-
He already gets a bit of an axe to grind.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, between like I said, he's going to his own people. They're already riled up. They already just had his dream about losing his daughter and all that.
because he needs to get a handle on his anger.
And then, like that very morning, or
They give up on a hand.
that very morning, he almost lost his life because of Alexandria Walls not being as well done because of the whisperers. So
Right.
like, a lot of strikes against these guys right now. They
Yeah.
don't want to-
Right. Yeah.
So they find this whisperer, find out his name. He says his name is Keith. He says he's on his own, and nobody believes him. Lydia's not sure. Lydia is a little skeptical, thinks he's telling the truth. Carol seems to be a little bit on the fence at this
Well, it's funny
point.
because they kind of look at Lydia. They're like, you know this guy? And she's like,
Yeah, maybe.
And he throws it like it's funny how he just throwing in detail. Look, I used to bring you like
Food when your mom was gone.
back in the
and
day.
she's still not like.
We used to hang out. We used to street Bears and Bears when you were young.
Exactly. Remember sing Backstreet Boys songs together or something?
You want it that way? I gave it to you that way.
Exactly.
It's in the magazine, nothing dirty.
No. Gotta hand it to you.
I wrote Dork Whisperer because I could like Keith was like that's not doing anymore. But
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was too. He was just too scared.
But that's why I was with Carol. I was like, I don't know about this. Like, maybe
Yeah.
he's telling the truth, but like, and then like it takes this kind of swerve. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, so he's like, it's just him and a bunch of others that just don't know what they're scared.
Yeah.
Because we've seen that whole thing of they act like they're, an enemy acts really, really, really scared, and then when you turn around, they pretty much are, setting you up.
I mean, to some degree, Lydia herself kind of did that, right? Like,
Yeah, she did.
when they
She
first
did.
got her. So Yeah, but they go through all that bit, and Lydia's like, yeah, maybe, like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
You know, this guy, he wasn't in my mother's inner circle. That's what he said for sure. So it's like, who knows who this guy is? So they still don't believe him. They're going to take him to the cellar, I'm assuming, to kind of tie him up until they figure out what to do with him. And there's more people down there. And at that point, like, Aaron just is seeing red. So, you know, he's like, how many more down here? And they start pulling, you know, through all the stuff that's down there. He finds another mask. And then Jerry finds, it looked like a blanket, and he said it belonged to his wife, right? Like, I forget
it's her headscarf.
Right. And he's like, this belonged to, I forget his wife's name, but, and he's like, they were part of the ones that were in Alexandria. They burned our home.
And that's when Jerry turned. When you make Jerry turn.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah. So then he's like, freaks out and then takes a slash at Aaron. And I thought he actually cut Aaron.
He did nip him, I thought.
Yeah, he got
Did he?
it wasn't fatal, but I mean,
Yeah, but I didn't, like, I kept looking, I didn't see, like, where his shirt was cut up or he was bleeding or
he
anything.
wears baggy shirts, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nabila is the name of Jerry's wife.
Nabila. Okay, yeah, exactly. This is Nabila's, yeah. So he makes a slash for Aaron, tries to make a run of it, and they grab him. So the next they get back from him, they've got him, and they've got him tied up, and Jerry is kind of playing like the pinata with him, where he's up and down, and this guy is just full on just begging for his life, sobbing, crying, screaming, freaking out, and Aaron is just not buying the story. He wants to know, how many more there are, where they are, what they've done, and he's still not buying it, and so he tells Jerry to let him down again, and he's got a walker like on a pitchfork or something.
Yeah.
And the first time he bites at his sleeve, and the second time when he lowers him down, he lets him full on bite his hand.
Yeah, that is pretty quickly.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
Yeah, and he pretty much tells him, hey, this is how this is going to go. Like, you can tell me what I need to know, and I'll cut off your hand before the infection starts and you'll live. Or you can just keep going like you're going and you're just going to die.
That takes me back to the Rick days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is totally a Rick move.
Yeah.
And given, the short hair, the beard, the one hand, pretty much Rick.
Yes.
Pretty much.
I mean, you remember the very first time Aaron encountered Rick and them?
Yeah.
They pretty much tortured him the same way,
Yeah.
in similar ways.
Aaron has fallen quite a, like, Aaron was the optimistic guy.
Yes.
Aaron was the guy that's like, he's going to keep the peace. He wants to work out the most, the best solution possible for everybody. He's the median. And now he's like this grizzled man who has no desire except to protect his daughter at all costs and will do what he can to kill anybody that gets in his way. It's like, boy, this is a dramatic arc for Aaron.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, at least I can see where it comes from because he's lost so many people.
Yes.
So, like, remember when Jesus was still around? Remember then? And it was
Wow.
like, who was he debating with constantly? It was him and who was it? It wasn't Carol. No, Carol more than the other.
Gabriel?
No.
Maybe it was Gabriel. Was it? No, it was one of the women. What's her name? It was what's her name? What's her face? She's dead. Her head was on spike.
I can't think of her name now.
Regardless, remember what my point is, like, Jesus, like, he had this thing where it just kind of like kept going on and on as far as like every week it seemed like they just didn't know how to like handle his thoughts and all of this. He was similar to Aaron. Right? He was generally a positive guy despite being good in action or whatnot. But then he got so mopey, and then they killed him off. We didn't know what to do with it. It was like, clearly, he just gave him the same storyline over and over again. At least Aaron, I get it. I get where he's coming from in this. So like, they kind of fix that problem.
Yeah.
For now, we'll see what happens.
So yeah, he kind of keeps with the same story. And at this point, Carol's like, okay, this isn't, like, Aaron's going too far. So she pulls back. the bow and cuts him down. Or she shoots the walker in the head that Aaron had on the pitchfork to stop this. And she kind of has like a come to Jesus meeting with Aaron and says, "Look, come to Jesus." That's funny.
Get it.
Potent didn't know it.
That's what she did there.
But explain it like
she tells him, like, look, once you stalk down the dark side,
Yes.
it will dominate your destiny.
And he was pissed when she did that.
yes, yeah. He kind of screamed at her and took a few steps. Yeah. But she told him.
He's kind of, I'm sorry, he's kind of working through his stuff with this guy.
Yes,
more than-
clearly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Tara Jesus.
Oh, right, yeah.
They kept having a thing.
Yes.
Thank you very much for looking that up.
Yeah.
So Carol just said, like, look, this isn't who you are. This isn't what you want to do. This is what I did, and look at what the result of it was. I hurt people around me. I caused all this pain, and I'm still paying for it. Like, this is not what you want to be. And so Aaron, they cut him down, and he leaves on the knife, and he's like, you want to save your hand, you can cut it off yourself or whatever. And they just leave.
He said, I can do it for you, or you can do it yourself. That's what
I thought he said, I'm not going to do it for you.
No, he said I can do it for you, or you can do it yourself.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. And I assume he ended up doing it for him because that's horrible.
I'm sure.
Yeah, because he wasn't passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he said, I'm not going to do it for you. Okay, that makes
Yeah, he's not that terrible.
Gotcha.
He's just going to infect you and
Yeah.
knock off your hand. And it's not, he's got some lines.
It's because he gave him information. So I mean, it's like, wow,
Yeah. So at the very end, the way the episode ends, and also the last bit of this part of the story, they're loading up a wagon, they're gathering up whatever tools and supplies and everything else that they could possibly salvage from Hilltop. And Keith tells him, he's like, hey, down in the caves or whatever, there was a woman that I saw, and she was with somebody, and it told him where they were, and they all realized in that moment that he must be talking about Connie.
And the explosion, and then she met up with some other people.
Yeah, and so Carol's like, all right, I'm gonna go try and find her. And Aaron tells her, he's like, no, like, look, let's get home. We'll go first thing in the morning. We'll go out and find her. And Carol's like, yeah, that actually
makes more sense.
Yeah, because this is Carol's redemption if he can find her.
You're right.
She can find
Yeah, she finds Connie and get her back to Daryl, and she's in a spot.
But like the way that I don't know what's gonna happen. We will find out next week. But like the way they described it is like because the last we saw Connie, she was with Virgil. Like Virgil came out of nowhere,
Right,
from
right.
the island.
Yes.
But the way the Keith described it is like there's like a group of them or something, and like something else is going on. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect. As a kid.
Yeah, now they're gonna have older ladies.
But it kind of left things on a more optimistic note, right? Like everybody kind of felt positive and
They got the tools, they got information, and when they left Keith, like all the other Whisper buddies, like came out, like,
Right.
oh, let's go.
yeah, they went to him.
Yeah, they were pretty much watching for you. You can tell they were like watching from the.
The Whispers are really good. They're really good at hiding.
Yes.
I know.
They're right there. They weren't far.
So we'll talk about Judith next because her arc is a little shorter, but yeah. So the Judith stuff starts where she's training the youngins. Like she's out there, has her group of the younger children, not the teenagers, but like the younger children's. And
It's America. Whoa.
yeah.
It's Alexandria.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh,
And she's doing like sword drills with them, and they do it, and she's like, again, and making him do it. And then one little girl is looking at her like, really? Like, we're going to do this again?
Who said she's in charge?
Yeah.
I have the hat.
Yeah, she has the hat and the real sword.
Sorry.
So of course she sees there's a bunch of kids. They're giving her a hard time, and she walks over there and kind of
No, they're beating against the wall with
Oh, right, yeah.
They're like taunting the walker.
yeah, they're
which is,
sticking their
like,
finger. Yeah,
all
see,
kinds of stupid.
Yes.
And I'm like, if I'm like, just let them get bit, and then we'll do it again.
yeah.
True that.
I don't
True
like
that. You figure it out.
It's the post-apocalypse version of putting your finger in the light socket, right? Like you only do that once.
Touch the stove or whatever. Like Jesus, it's kids.
Yeah.
Don't you get it?
It's like, why do they call you Stumpy? Well, so yeah, she tells them like, hey, you need to knock it off, like stop that. And then they, of course, get in her face and they're telling her, they get on her and they're like, yeah, that's why your mom left you or something. And she's like, what did you say?
Oh yeah.
And she turns around and pulls out her sword and puts it right up to that guy's
What
chin.
you say about my mama?
And she's like, say it again. Like, say it again, I dare you.
I like how she said that though. Say it again.
Yeah, and she's putting on a very brave face, and standing up to this kid. And then, when the girl comes up and is like, "Hey, kind of, Judith, stop! Like, this isn't like."
That's her hype man.
Yeah.
Comes in. Yeah.
So she puts her sword back and starts walking away, and you can tell as she walks away that she's starting to cry, like she's feeling it.
yeah.
So it's like puts up the brave face in the kind of the heat of it, but it really did affect her.
Oh, it hurt.
Yeah, it's very neat. And then the next time we come across Judith, like she comes downstairs or she comes in the house, and she had that little, I guess it was a frame or something that had her handprints with Carl's handprints, and it was broken, like it was broken in half.
Because that's their house. They
Right. And so she picks up the pieces and is like, who did this? And it must have been you. And the one kid that she faced off with before, said no, it wasn't me. Like it wasn't me. And so she kind of walks out. And this is kind of the first time it like really. I thought the Judith stuff was very good. I really liked the Judith stuff this episode. But you really kind of got the sense that Judith is alone. Like her birth mother died. Literally giving birth to her. Her brother dies. Her father, she thinks, is dead and gone. Her, the only mother she's ever known left, and she's just kind of stuck with her brother. Daryl's, constantly, he was gone for a long period of time, and now he's gone again, and Carol's gone, and
as the number one critic of Judith on the show, I agree with you that this is very good stuff for her character. I do think that she effectively does what's needed. It's never the actors as well, just more like how they write her. But I think this week they did a good job of giving her stuff to do.
Yeah. So she's kind of outside there, and then Rosita comes up and tries to console her, and she's like, "Look, I never knew my father. My mother died, when I was not that much older than you." And she kind of gives her this story to just, pep her up and say, "Look, this, this thing you have is not, is not your brother, not your parents. Like,
did you just get past the handprints thing?
No, that was broken. The handprints.
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
I just heard something. Well, here's the one thing that Rosita's not doing. Stop talking to these boys about messing up her shit. Like,
Yeah.
Right?
She's literally like outside the door.
Yeah.
Like, who's watching these kids? Like, what's going on here?
You think, Rosita's kind of salty. You think she would just come up to that little kid, grab by the collar, and be like, "Look, you little bastard."
She's a mother. What's she not doing mothering anybody?
Yeah.
Guess she ain't a good mother.
This isn't about like 5-year-old battles. It's Judith. She's like 8. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so she tries to talk, kind of put Judith at ease and kind of help that.
Bigger things, invisible stuff. We all burnt. Got it. Like, it's good. Thank you, Percy. But Jesus, like, I'll be out here. These mean boys are being mean. Like, I think you get that.
I'm wondering if this is gonna. I mean, and that other than the bit
Obviously, it's going somewhere. Obviously, there's going to be some confrontation that happens.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I hope that they're not going to leave it here.
I hope it doesn't lead to like Judith becomes a little sociopath like Carl. Like, I hope there's a different storyline in store for her.
No, it would be nice though if she took that board and was like, and just slammed that thing on top of his head. Yeah.
I'm sure what's going to happen is one of these kids is going to be in some kind of peril, and she's going to end up being the badass to come in and save him, and then they change it.
Yeah, they could do that too.
Yeah.
Or it's like the counter of Carl, where like if it was a different situation, Carl would just straight up let them get murdered, or murder them secretly when they're like in an alley or whatever, like when nobody's looking. And instead, it's more like Judith, like I could have killed you, but I'm choosing not to.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And she walks off, and Shaft starts playing this.
And then the hype man comes in and she could have killed you.
Somebody the gate is desk guard on the Walking Dead all of a sudden.
Somehow Jerome from the time is there.
You don't want none of this. You don't want none of this.
Start doing the dance.
Oh, that's the episode I want.
All right, so that's pretty much until the very end. That's kind of the end of Judah's story. So let's cut to the Commonwealth. So this was kind of funny because right after the cold open, we get the Commonwealth commercial, and it was funny because as at the beginning of the episode, I mentioned getting AMC Plus. Well, one of the perks of AMC Plus is you don't have commercials. So for about half a second after the cold open struck, and that came up, I was like, wait a minute, I'm not paying for commercials. And I was like, oh, and that's what this is because it was like
Why is this such a cheap commercial?
Yeah, I was like, wait, this is 4x3. What's going on? Like
Commercial
They
shot in
tell me they did this on
1991.
Plus. Yeah,
Yeah.
they mentioned that about this on AMC Plus.
yes, but I thought that was pretty. It was very much like a like something out of Stranger Things or something like that, that they would do. You know, for the 4x3, it's a videotape, and it's this whole promotional video of so you find yourself at the Commonwealth.
It's great though. It reminded me of they show the guy baking the bread and making the dough and like all the imagery kind of a little bit slow motion and soft focus.
I like when they say security and Lance puts his arms on his hips.
Yes.
Like, emphasize this point. This is good casting. Josh Hamilton, he's a neat actor. He's like a character actor. He never like took off, but he was in 8th grade recently. He's like the girl's father in that movie. But he like has a really specific look where it's like you turn him one way, he looks like the nicest guy. You turn him the other way, it's like there's something going on underneath the surface here. And I think it's very clever casting to do that with this Lance Hornsby, Lance Hornsby character as far as what we know about him so far.
So yeah, so they're basically in this room watching the promotional video for the Commonwealth. They just kind of talk about stuff, and they each get their papers that show them what their job is going to be. And so Eugene's going to be a teacher. Princess is going to be a retail clerk, and so it's funny because she's all excited, wondering if they got a mall, and she's like, "Man, I got a mall."
I love working at the mall.
Yeah,
Animal control.
yeah, animal control. And Yumiko doesn't get a job, but she just has this ominous paper of like, "You're somebody important." Because everybody else's question, like Eugene is like, "Hey, we need to talk to somebody. We shouldn't have jobs. We're not staying here. We just need help." And the bureaucrat dude is like, "Talk to the boss. Like, don't
Princess has like a great line because what you get when Yumiko says her thing is like, "I must be the accent." It's part of why she's so special.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, they don't want to have this dude doesn't want to have anything to do with any of them.
No,
and then after they kind of go out there, Yumiko is like, "Well, who do I need to talk to?" And he hands her that letter, and she's like, "Oh, excuse me, ma'am. Yes, I will be glad to help."
That is what every person that ever had to go to motor vehicles wishes they could do.
Yeah. It's like you're somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah.
We need to talk about the scene where she meets her brother. Coming up next, I think.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Chud isn't here, but there was a big cake crime there.
There was a huge hate crime.
No, let's talk about it, right?
Yeah. So Yumiko, what she's asking for is where her brother is, right? So she goes up to this bakery, and
I love these lovely cakes and
Yes.
rice pastries and everything on the wall.
yeah, I love it. Like even the ice cream, it's like they make a point of it. It's like this is like the greatest ice cream you've ever seen. Waffle cones, like everything's they go in the bakery and everything is just
Let
like
me tell you,
perfect.
but someone with diabetes, y'all made me mad. I'm supposed to be looking at that.
It was all sugar free. They're using Splenda. So Yumiko goes in and she's seeing everybody. One of the guys that comes in, it's like a younger guy that comes in, and he's like setting stuff up, and she's like, "Oh, I'm looking for somebody." And here someone's like, "Hey, boss, where should I put this cake?" And as the guy comes in, and he's got this beautifully decorated cake that he's carrying, and obviously it's Yumiko's brother. And he looks at her, and she looks at him, and he just like drops the cake.
I'm saying, you don't
It's a rough shot. If the cake splits all the way over.
Yes.
all around
on the ground.
Yeah, they don't just like
camera focuses on it.
yeah. It's not like they focus on him, and he just drops the cake, and you're just like lingering on his face. Oh no, they cut to the cake. You see this?
I don't know if you guys have it. I have AMC Plus Jubs, so when it happened, I heard tears in the background.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the cake.
Plus, you could have like a little zoom box in the bottom, seeing Chubb's live reaction as the cake fell.
It was weird that video went up right away.
Yes.
It did.
So then the next time we catch up with the Commonwealth crew, Eugene is getting ice cream with Stephanie, and it's funny because he's like, "Is that Rocky Road?" And that lady looks at him like, "What's wrong with you?" And just walks away.
I know she didn't even answer him. She just
Yeah.
walked
Do
away.
you guys think this is the real Stephanie, or do you think they're using this to like? I mean, we see what happens at the end or whatever. Do you think this is actually the woman Eugene was talking to?
I do, but if it's not, I wouldn't be.
I didn't even think about it.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
So he starts talking to her, and he's like, "Look, is there anything you can do to help?" He says, "Like, I'm not staying long term. Like, we're not staying here. We have our friends. They need help." And he's like, "Is there something that you can do to get us past that?" And she basically is going on about the bureaucracy here. There's just a ton of red tape for anything that anybody needs to do, and it's like 5 weeks to wait to see the boss, and everything's just extreme, like bureaucracy to the max. And so she says she's going to try and get him to the radio room because they look over at like the city hall building or whatever, and there's where the antenna is, and she works in communications, so she's going to try and get him into the radio room.
And we were talking about cake. I'm sorry to pop back for a second, but do we know that like Tommy is not only is he a baker, but he very much wants people to know that he's just a baker and not a surgeon? He's
Not yet. That's coming up.
Is that coming up? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought that was the whole same scene.
No. So yeah, so Eugene has this conversation with Stephanie about just the bureaucracy. It's like, yeah, it takes us like weeks to get an appointment to see whoever's in charge around here. And it's like, no, we don't have weeks. We need to, our people are in trouble. We need to do something about it. So the next time we cut it with them, it's almost like a heist film at this point, right? Like Stephanie goes to take Eugene up, and it's Princess and the King are
Distraction options.
or distraction. I thought for a minute they were going to like make a loud scene to distract all the security, so they could like
Princess just tells Mercer his butt looks good in his armor.
yeah.
Princess just works first. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
It's a pretty armor.
yeah,
Princess.
so that's kind of funny. And she's
And
like,
where's the quote? You have really beautiful eyelashes. That's what
Yes,
she
you have
said.
really
And the look he has is like ours. Just inscrutable looks go. It's so good. It's like,
Yeah.
I guess I heard this. I guess that's good. I have no idea what to do with it right now. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a combination of emotions.
Right.
she's like, "Hey, thanks for giving me my $2 back." And he's like, "Hey, I'm just giving you your property back. Like nothing special. You're just the paper said to give you your stuff back. I gave you your stuff back."
Right.
And so at this point, this is where Yumiko catches up with her brother, and then she's like, "You could be doing so much more. You were a soldier." And he's like, "Whoa,
Surgeon.
like, oh, surgeon. I'm sorry. Oh, I thought I said soldier." And she's like, "Whoa." He's like, "Whoa, like, kind of calm down."
Like, because she tells us the guy early on he's a thoracic surgeon somewhere.
Oh, right, yeah. And he makes a point of saying like he got there early. So he was in Chicago. He started heading west. He found a group of people. They got here. He got here pretty early on. When the Commonwealth was just starting, and slowly they've expanded out. So it, like originally it was just a couple blocks, and everything's kind of expanded more. And he even comments about how there's a lot of structure and there's a lot of red tape and stuff here. But he goes on and he's like, look, I'm very happy. Like essentially the apocalypse gave me a chance to be as terrible as it was, gave me a chance to be happy. And she's like, he even says like, have you ever seen me happier? And she's like, no, I guess or when have you seen me this happy? And she's like, well, I guess now. Like you see
when she knows that he's a surgeon, he looks he's like, don't say anything.
Yeah, he's looking around like, oh yeah, keep it on the
which like, and we'll get more of this obviously, we'll get more comment, but like it just makes me feel like if he was there from near the beginning, like things were already not completely on the level as seems to be implied by this episode, that he had to pretend he was a surgeon. Like that just makes me curious, like how the implied corruption seems to go here. We'll see, I guess. Like,
yeah, before he was able, before everything was structured, he was able to fib about, because there wasn't that many people. Maybe he was able to fib about his background, and then then they started the heavy bureaucracy like kind of after. I kind of took it as that they started all that like after that. It's like, okay,
I get that.
But yes,
it's kind of a to be determined type of thing as far as where this is going.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get the rules for thee, not for me kind of stuff going on at some point.
And I'm sure he was just like, before everything was assembled, he was probably just a cook, not just a baker. So it's a
right.
Still have anyway.
And it's funny too, like I mentioned, like the guy that's clearly the boss is like much younger than him. So it's kind of funny that this guy that was a thoracic surgeon, probably very successful, used to calling the shots, is now just like man, I just bake. Like I got a boss. Like I don't care. Like I'm just making cakes.
After a lifetime of stress, the stress of being a surgeon, having people's lives in your hands, and then after everything with the apocalypse, I can totally see his point of view. I mean,
for sure. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm against him, but I'm curious where this is all going as far as the way the higher ups of this government.
Yes.
Our position.
So at this point, when we come back to him again, Eugene is up in the
radio tower.
In the radio tower, and he's trying to we kind of what we actually do is we cut to Rosita and Judith, and they hear Eugene. They're trying to fix Judith's handprint thing, and they hear Eugene on the radio, and Rosita goes over to it, and she kind of catches him up and is like, look, the war's over, we won, Alpha and Beta are dead, but we don't have any food, and supplies are running thin, and that kind of part cut out. So Eugene didn't really hear too much about the whole supply stuff. And at this point, the signal cuts out, and then we cut back to them, and Mercer comes into the radio room, and they all get arrested. So then we come back to them again. They all get hauled in, and the magistrate or whatever is basically telling them like, okay, you're all being charged with these crimes, and you're going to get tried, and everything else. And they make a point of like, hey, you guys are all bureaucracy, laws, following order. Like, we want our attorney. And it's like, oh, you have an attorney? And they're like, yeah, we have a very what are they, high profile or very important attorney. And they're like, well, you're not resident, you're not citizens here, so you basically you don't get it.
Eugene's a little like, once again, I guess that he's just driven by emotion these days compared to logic, like he used to be. He's just evolved. But like, he's sitting there like, if I could just explain to you guys, it's like, Eugene's the one that like gets this the most. I wouldn't think that he's like, if I could just bypass all of your laws.
Yes.
And just tell you, like, that's not what Eugene would do. Eugene would be like, yes, I heard your laws and I abide by them because I'm a person that thinks only in logic terms. So.
Or I read through your complete constitution and bylaws. Here's the loophole I found to allow me to do X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, but I guess increasingly I just have to accept that if it's an emotionally driven scenario, he's going to bypass his own thing as far as how he acts and react that way. That's what's got to go on with this.
Yeah. So at this point, Stephanie comes in with Hornsby, and
he's like, let him go.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. And so she tries to. Does Stephanie stay? Like she leaves back out. No, she stays in. And Hornsby tells the magistrate to come out because he was going to talk to him.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are in there, and Stephanie's like, hey, he can basically he's somebody that might be able to help you. Just you can trust him, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And that's where we leave the Commonwealth crew.
Or suspicions as far as what's going on.
Yeah, so things are starting to get a little weird here.
Because I don't know what they're. I mean, well, if I had to I try not to like blend what I know about the book versus what the show's presenting me. But like, if I had to speculate based on what the show's telling me, clearly they're just interested in where these people came from. Like that seems obvious, right? Like they want to know where they came from. At the same time, they have Yumiko, who's clearly valued because of being a lawyer for one thing, but like whatever else is going on with her. So like I'm curious what Hornsby's what the gain is, I guess, in all this, given how perfect their community seems to be as is.
Right.
And the show will surely provide you with that information.
Yeah. So that's where we leave them. So the last bit of story we have this week is Maggie and Negan. And again, we kind of catch up with them. They're back in the woods and they're fighting on. And at this point, they have a little bit of banter. And Negan kind of asks her, like, why haven't you put me down? And she's like, I'm wondering that myself. And they kind of get into this little bit. And
this is like cut and paste from the first episode.
Yeah.
It annoyed me because like we had this dialogue. Like, what are we, like this isn't forwarding anything. It's not even clever. Just saying the exact same. Like,
and then she picks up
the the same thing. It's like, okay, because I'm intrigued by this relationship or this dynamic, but it's like, if the show's gonna be that lazy, like, why am I supposed to care about these two at this point?
Yeah. And of course, they get in this heated, bit, and she pulls out the knife and throws it, and Negan kind of ducks, and of course, it's to hit a walker.
Everybody's drawing things.
Yeah.
And so then,
they get to the satellite.
They get to the satellite, and he's trying to talk some sense into her about waiting. And
no, she wants to wait. He wants to go.
Right,
he's saying the logic. Explain the logic.
Yes, he's dumb. Yeah, this is dumb. We need to go. You essentially know I'm right. And so the bits with Negan and Maggie are kind of are quite short compared to the rest of them.
It makes sense because they have nothing to offer beyond here, and what we do have on the offer is just stuff you've already heard before. It's like, okay.
This whole part is just more like, hey, remember us? And then, they reunite with some people. So,
yeah.
Well, stability seems to be the...
But you're right, Aaron. It just seems like they're rechewing what they've already gone through with these characters. It doesn't seem like anything progressed. It's like, I hate you, but I don't know why I haven't killed you. And
yeah.
It's the kind of thing that practically makes you wonder if they filmed this out of order. Like if they filmed this stuff first and then they filmed the subway stuff next, it's more complicated. It's like, what I wrote it down. Like, why haven't you put me down? He says the same thing in the subway, and she says she has the exact same response. She's like, I think about it every day. I'm like, yeah, I know. You said that to me already. Like, I got it.
And I mean, the most thing that we saw, the most progressive thing with their relationship is when he said, "Listen, we both have one thing in common. We both want to live, right?"
Yeah.
So it behooves me to kind of work in that behalf for both of us to survive.
They do get to a point now. I don't think this is the way they're going, but they get to a point where they're like basically about to fight, right? Like Negan's putting stuff together. He's like, I'm going to go back home.
Yeah,
something. And they're about to like throw arms. And the way it's framed, where they get very close to each other, I'm not saying it looks like they're about to kiss.
Oh no, please tell me.
I'm not trying to ship this whatsoever. I'm just saying in terms of how the filmmaking's handled. Like they're getting close to the way where it's like, are they gonna push a different angle on this? Like,
well, I thought they were going to go the route of, I hate you, and
Exactly.
and then you break down and that
Face
kind of
smash.
thing.
That
Right.
yeah.
Right.
That would, thank God. At that point, like, there's no way. Like, this man smashed your husband with a baseball bat. That,
Exactly.
like, there's no set of circumstances where
We're
that.
coming back from that.
I'm not saying it's good, but I've seen other shows do this.
Oh, yeah.
No, there was-
Totally get it. Yeah,
there was-
they would try.
Yeah, I was watching it and I'm like, oh man, like this feels of like some
Dangerously
sexual tension going on that is making me very nervous.
God, I hope not.
That never came to be. Like, it was clear that's when they
yeah.
got back to Maggie the last time. It was clear she was seeing red. Like she had anger in her face.
And I didn't want her to do the breakdown with him either. Like, even if he had done the breakdown of I hate you, blah 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 blah, and then he tries to say something comforting to her, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't go that route either.
They try to Hallmark movie this shit. I know.
Yeah, because you can't. I mean,
totally
it still comes back. Like, they just have to. The only thing you can really work out with them too is, look, you just have to. You go your way, I go my way. I can't hold on to this anger all forever. I got shit to do. Like, we got to
This
build.
is gonna be something we're all wrong, and they do
I
go that
know.
route.
I know.
Oh my God, I hope you're wrong, Aaron. I really do.
We'd have to. Yeah, I think the podcast would come to a abrupt halt.
Stop giving the listeners like ammo to use against us. We're gonna keep going.
I know.
Yeah, this will become the Fear the Walking Dead / Daryl and Carol podcast.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so
and then Gabriel arrives.
yeah, Gabriel comes in and
Elijah.
yes, and
With Sans mask, no mask for Elijah.
No,
Right.
yes, no.
Which also, now I'm wondering, going back a step, was Elijah part of the Reapers, or just like got a Reaper mask, or like what's his deal? Like, what's going on with this guy?
yeah, I wondered that
He
too.
was such like a ninja badass when he first came on the scene, and then immediately like
Yeah.
Maybe it's like,
crumbled under the Reavers.
did we establish like who did someone killed like his sister? Is that the thing with him?
I think that's
Yeah, that was the thing with
Yes.
with
Is
him.
it one of the Reapers from last week, or like maybe it's like a Reaper that did it and he got revenge on the Reaper and took his mask or something? Maybe that's what it is. Something like that.
something like that.
I mean, clearly it's a Reaper mask, right? I'm not off base by saying.
No, I don't
No,
know. Based
no.
on
But
It looks like some Spirit Halloween. So yeah.
yeah, so
we find out it
I
was
was
Lynn Collins that killed him.
so I would assume, yeah, probably
Sister.
one of those twists. But I would assume, yes, like it's some like battle he had with a Reaper and he took it as a trophy and like a way to hide himself because he's so fragile inside or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not me judging. That's just me pointing out what's going on with his character.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's what they gave us.
Yeah.
Character, yeah.
So as soon as they get there, obviously it's clear that Maggie was right. Like, Negan was convinced they weren't coming. There's no point in waiting. This is stupid. We need to move on. So
Well,
then
he wasn't wrong to say we.
he wasn't wrong with what he said.
To wait till because he did say wait until what was it he said, like sundown tomorrow?
yeah, no,
Something like that?
sundown like then. Like,
Okay, sundown.
But once she's like, okay, now then Maggie and Gabriel both are like, no, we need to wait. Like nobody knows where the others are. Like she mentioned the ones that died, and she's like, well, now we need to wait. And Gabriel's like, yeah, we need to wait. And then Negan just sits down. And so
it's really hard to make
yeah.
it
Well, Gabriel says it in a way that he didn't even know that they were having this argument.
Oh, of course,
like,
yeah,
He just says out loud,
yes.
like,
so we wait.
let's wait for the others since they're not here yet. Like, it was just a done deal with him the way he said it.
well, obviously he's
He
like,
just
look, it's taking us a while to get here. It's obviously
Right,
could have taken somebody else a while to
had
get
this-
here.
Negan had this like been at the mall all day with your loved ones.
Yeah.
You want to go home? It's not working. You're not going. Something else comes up, and he's just like, God dang it! Like, he just had this look, and his body language just shifted, and he just sat down, like, and it was done. Like, he knew that no argument was gonna win the day.
Yep. And so that's where things lay with Maggie and Negan. So
For me, it's an annoying thing. It's like Negan is right every step of the way here.
Yeah,
Now,
yes.
the show's being like, but Faith, and I'm like, okay, you got lucky.
Yeah.
You should still leave. That's gonna happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
You wait till sundown and somebody showed up. Good. The others didn't show up. Too fucking bad. It's like,
I know, but they are still coming for you.
yeah, they are. If anything, they're probably closer because they followed Gabriel and this guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Everything okay?
all right, so that was this week's episode, Out of the Ashes.
yeah.
What's Aaron? How many busters do you give this week's episode?
Yeah, I guess like 3.5. Like I like this episode. I there's nothing like overwhelmingly positive about it for me. Like there's nothing I necessarily dislike beyond like the repetitive stuff with more Maggie and Negan, and Rosita doing nothing but saying everything kind of irked me. So like it's like stuff like that's just kind of like it held the episode more into like average, slightly above average mode. But I really like seeing the Commonwealth for the first time. Like I was having read this thing and I like seeing it in action. It's like I'm very curious about what's to come in the show's version of handling this city. And like the Aaron, Gary, Carol, Lydia, like the Hilltop stuff, it's pretty hardcore. I was like when Carol's the one that's acting as the voice of reason, you're like, oh, these are good hands.
That's true.
So like
That's true.
those halves of the story work. Yeah, I mean, Judith did like, as I said, I do think the actor and the writing for her, like I think that worked more in her favor than not as far as what's going on to keep that area alive. So yeah, 3.5 busters right for me.
Excellent, Jim.
I give it 3. I like some of the stuff I didn't hit with it as well. The Negan and Maggie stuff, I just felt like it was a rehash, so I kind of screwed that up. But I did agree with Aaron. I really like seeing the Commonwealth finally after them building it up all this time. The stuff at the Hilltop was fine, but yeah, just a 3.
Yeah, 3 all around so far. It wasn't great, but I mean, I enjoyed the episode, but it just wasn't anything that made me go, ooh, this is a memorable episode that I will, talk about again sometime. So 3 is good.
I'll give it 3.5. Again, I thought this week was better than last week. I thought there were, other than just a lot going on in this episode, for the most part, like I said, I think we kind of spoke our piece on the Maggie and Negan stuff. I think this could have benefited from like that one week where we just got the real brief Father Gabriel stuff. Like we could have probably just done with the last bit of Maggie and Negan at this point. But I really like the Commonwealth stuff because it has me really intrigued. I thought the Hilltop stuff was pretty well done. And again, I like the Judas stuff this week. So yeah, 3.5. I thought it was a solid episode. So that's our busters. What about the Facebook groups, Jim?
Well, we got a few people chiming in here on the Facebook.com/group/WDTV podcast, including Mr. Mike Jones. Sweet, $2 dose out of 5. Was it amazing? No. Did it keep my interest? Yeah. The real Stephanie was the girl who didn't speak at the ice cream truck. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Because there was that girl at the ice cream truck that kind of looked. Did you notice that in the scene?
When Eugene said, "Is that Rocky Road?" Yeah, and she just kind of looked at him like what? And just looked at him and then walked away.
I don't think the Stephanie that's presenting herself as Stephanie is the real Stephanie. That's
Oh,
just my
so we have
theory.
conspiracy theories.
It is. I'm not the only one who thinks this.
I mean, you
Mike
talked to
Jones
her on the radio. Like,
I'm just saying.
okay.
Princess obviously doesn't flirt much. True. Having the Whispers again was a complete waste of time. The Negan and Maggie scenes were good and could have used the time wasted on cakes and ice cream cones. The preview for next week looks awesome. And Richard Charrington wrote it at 2.5 cheesy welcome videos out of 5. I echo what Mike Jones has said above, minus the preview for next week, as we don't get to see it here in the UK. All I will add is I really hope they don't go down the road of Negan and Maggie getting it on. That would totally ruin it for me. I totally agree, Richard. And that's all we got this week. Only a couple of comments. So we appreciate if you pick up the mantle and join us on the Walking TV Dead TV podcast group and chime in with your comments on the episodes, especially as we're going into the other shows and everything going on with October and whatnot.
Yeah,
so.
and I think we're back on a pretty good track of recording on Mondays. So episodes air Sunday, we're pretty much recording Monday or Tuesday. So yeah, get those busters in. Yeah, thanks everybody for listening. So real quick, Aaron, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm in a few places. You can find my write-ups for The Walking Dead, as well as my movie reviews at Wheel of Entertainment, Saturday Blue reviews, and Criterion reviews over Lights of Blue. And I'm on Twitter at AaronsPS4. And, of course, the podcast I co-host with my friend Abe, Out Now There, and Abe, we talk about movie releases. And we just had a whole big episode focused on the top highest-grossing films of the summer, where we had a fun competition, which, Jim, you were involved with. And you'll hear those results very soon if you're a listener of that.
Spoiler, I didn't come in last.
There you go.
I was happy about that.
Daryl?
You can catch me on Gotham by Geeks with Wes. We just hit 200. So we have fun recording that. So check that out. You can also check me out on Nothing's On with Jim, of course, and Donnie Salvo, where Fall TV is here. So
just went over the whole new Fall TV schedule on our show. We had a lot of good talk this week.
I'll try to watch it all. So we can talk about it next week. And you can check out all the other podcasts that are on the Taylor Network, and also check out Retro Movie Geek. We have our Spooky Fest coming up in October, where the theme will be all vampire movies, all Dusk Till Dawn, Vampire Circus, Blackula, all of it. We run the gambit.
Once Bitten, Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yes, also
all the classics. Got it.
We did about 60 something of them or another. So you can definitely check it out. And that's it.
Jim.
Like every week, we just drop the